party dungeon. This is Dungeon Party. As always, I'm your DM, Blake Peebles, and this is... whoa! There's no cast. It's just me. I'm the only one in the room. That's because it's episode 15. It's a special episode. We've been missing our sweet Deirdre and our sweet Wallace for quite some time now, so we thought we'd go back and check in with them, what they're doing during this tournament. So the first half of this episode is going to be a one-on-one session with me and Michael, who plays Deirdre. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a video of that. We only have audio, so you're going to see some fun editing magic for that. And the second part is going to be a one-on-one session with me and Emily, who plays Wallace. So get ready for that. We're going to do a little catch-up episode. Cool. See you at the end of it. So, Michael, Deirdre, you last left off about midday. You went off into the woods by yourself. You left a note, but you did go off into the woods by yourself.
Quite stupidly, yes.
Yeah. And you walked your way through the woods until you heard a loud noise behind you, turned around, and looked into really the kneecap of a fire giant. And that's exactly where we left off.
Okay, cool. Hello, fair creature. My name is Deirdre. What's yours?
As you reach your hand out, it takes a step back, and it reaches for, like, a giant greatsword on its back. Just, like, three times maybe the size of you.
Whoa. Keep my hands up. Keep smiling. Everything's fine. I don't think it's speech common. I switched to Elvish. Do you speak Elvish? I switched to Gnomish. Do you speak Gnomish? I didn't think so.
Screwfusk, wolf! And you hear the sound. It sounds like earthquakes coming in either direction behind you. As you turn and look a little bit, you can see that there are two more hulking figures coming out of the woods in your direction.
Okay, honestly, thank God I've had practice with this. Hello, my name, Deirdre. I am friends. I mean no harm.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage, I think.
Okay. I hate that you said disadvantage. That
Well,
wasn't good.
you don't speak the language.
I know. Honestly, since I'm favored by the gods, let's...
All right.
I rolled a 13, but then I added 7 to it.
Okay, 20. The main one just sort of like... Some of the aggression in his face does disappear. He's this huge, tall figure dressed in like heavy black armor, sort of grayish skin, with flaming red hair. It's not on fire, but it is just like bright red.
Okay.
And he sort of crouches down towards you, so his face comes almost level with you, and his face is pretty much the size of your head. He's got these giant orange bushy eyebrows. And he says something to you in a language that you really don't know. Though as he does so, like, this hot breath, like, goes across your face, and you, like, immediately start sweating. Not only from nerves, but just it's like the temperature rose.
Oh, I'm already sweating, don't worry.
Yeah, I figured. And he says something, and he waits for you to respond.
I am so sorry that we do not share the same language. But since we are both language-speaking creatures, I think we can find a nice agreement.
Ugh. And he stands back up, and with one hand just whoom, pulls you and scoops you up into his hand.
Okay. It's not violent, but, okay. I actually have friends back there.
And he starts walking off in the opposite direction, flanked by these two giants. The two that joined are slightly shorter than him, and don't seem to be carrying giant weapons, but he is.
say I usually enjoy wonderful day trips. Usually I would love this, but you know, people have plans, everything, you know.
They don't seem to be paying you any attention. He's just sort of you're getting swung as he like walks. He's got a very arm swingy walk, and you're just flying with it.
Just hold your hand while you walk. It's easy.
After it's hard to tell how long. You're very discombobulated by this, but you're walked through this forest. It's hard to tell how long, but you'd say probably at least upwards of 10 minutes before the pace starts to slow down. You're being held at his. They stop. You're being held sort of at his leg height with your face facing down towards the ground. So if you can strain to see, but you can't really see what's going on too well. But you see the feet of another large, huge creature, and you hear the one carrying you having a conversation in this language you don't understand. A couple words are exchanged, and then the swinging continues again. Although this time much, much shorter, as you hear the sound of clanging. Lots and lots of like clanging and hammering and grunting, and this language being sort of murmured. As you're getting swung around, you can catch brief glimpses of a large number of these large creatures sort of around a makeshift camp area. And you see yourself slowly being walked towards one corner of the camp where there's this wrought iron cage. As you reach it, it gets... you hear some more conversation, you hear a loud... and then you find yourself being tossed into it. You and land inside the cage before the door slams shut and a thunk.
I'd say, I stand up very dignified and say, okay, that was a little rude, and I don't appreciate this. Now...
Hey, miss, I would recommend you don't cause too much trouble here. And you hear that voice, and you turn. There's another individual in this cage. He is a Goliath dressed in black leather armor that black leather armor that seems vaguely familiar to you. His face is down and his head is in his hands. But you do see that he gestures over the corner, and if you look, you see just a mangled corpse also in this cage. You, him, and the dead body are the only three occupants of the cage at the moment. You don't want to turn out like that one.
Okay, I see your example, but I have to do something. So, hello, dear friend. Thank you for sending me...
Oh, he's gone. He left.
Oh.
He threw you in and just walked away.
Are there any of them near me?
None of them are particularly standing guard. Make a perception check, though. 19, cool. So you see the camp, effectively. It's a pretty sizable host of fire giants. You can count 15 giants, including the 3 that brought you back, that you can see visibly right now. And they are all around... This camp is situated around a large cave that looks recently hewn. Like, it doesn't seem like a natural cave in sort of the rocky territory that you've been in. You've been on your way... Well, I guess you don't remember your way to Hero, but like you've been around these parts before, and you've seen natural caves. This isn't... There's like chunks dug out of it, and it seems very strange. There is a large fire in the center with a spit, an iron spit over it, and you can see that the creature on it has a feline head, a goat head, and a snake tail that's being roasted. 6 of these giants are very, very tall, and they are adorned with armor and in weapons, and they seem to be the ones keeping guard for the most part. But the rest of them are smaller, and all seem to be working at small forges that have been set up in the area. It's surprisingly not that loud. They're hammering away at iron here, but they're doing it with such mastery that they manage to keep the noise... It's not quiet by any means, but you don't think it would carry beyond a couple miles, which is a little surprising. There is sort of a makeshift iron kind of curtain of chain link over the cave entrance itself. And other than that, yeah, that's about it. So you can make about 15 giants here.
Okay, I turn to the Goliath and I say, how long have you been here?
I've been here
Have
about...
I tried to parlay with you whatsoever in any way?
Well, fire giants aren't exactly interested in parlaying. And he lifts his head, and as he does so, you can see that one of his eyes is disfigured. It's like, it seems as though it's been cut out and replaced by one that is like hazy and vaguely bluish. And that sort of jolts your memory a little bit, and you recognize he has the armor and the eye of a member of the Cryptal Order, which are the roving group of sort of treasure hunters that work for the Cryptal. Yeah, it's a brotherhood, more or less, that's fairly ancient. And not terribly trusted by many people because of some of events in history, but you've never really run into one before, so you don't know it.
Oh, don't suppose you got any gadgets?
I mean, if you think they didn't take everything off me that I had before they put me in here, then you're dead wrong.
They didn't take any of my stuff, did they?
No, not that you can tell.
I mean, maybe they didn't deem me as a threat, but that'll be on them, because I am a threat. Like, you can see I'm a threat, right? I'm a threat, right?
All right, listen, I don't wanna doubt whether or not you're a threat. Sorry. You can call me G. What's your name?
Hello, G. My name is Deirdre. I would say nice to meet you, but not in these circumstances.
Totally understand.
How long have you been?
I've been here for about a day.
Okay, only a day.
Well, I've been here overnight. I should say probably a little less than a day. I was scoping out the territory after my companion made me sit through dinner theater. And I needed some fresh air, but I stumbled across the wrong kind of fresh air, I suppose. How did they get you? Just wander off? Away from the tournament and your family?
I did not just wander off. I'm not that dumb.
Well, I mean, you're here.
I left a note.
Where? Where'd you leave the note? Who? With who?
I left a note on a tree by the water. It's probably far away, but you know what? Hey. Was the dinner theater so bad that you would rather be here?
You see a little bit of a chuckle come out of him. He has this, like, very grim expression on this entire time, but that did manage to get a little bit of a rise out of him. He's like, well, I'd say it's comparable. Though, knowing fire giants, if we don't get out of here, we will be slaves for life, so...
Okay, you think that, but obviously they have a civilization here. Obviously, on the cave, they have a ruling body, and obviously... that ruling body will have to talk to us, and I am a very good talker, and that's not going to happen. You know what?
Here's the thing. Have you ever experienced a fire giant before?
I can't say that I have.
Yeah, they're not interested in talking with the smaller folk. They use us for what we're good for, which is often, slave labor, or in my case, I guess translation, but they haven't asked me to do that yet.
I start laughing. Do I look like I would be good for manual labor?
I didn't say manual labor. And he gives you sort of a dour look.
I'm choosing to not know what you're talking about.
Alright. Well, here's what's going on. It's abnormal that they're here. They don't have a civilization. They bear the emblem of Forge King Gilkrung Uvendad. And he resides far up to the north in Skembra. I don't know why they're down here, and I don't know... I do. I've overheard bits and pieces of plans about conquering new territory, but that doesn't seem like a Uvendad's modus operandi. I'm not an expert.
So you speak giant, that's nice. Okay. So it is very unusual that they're here, so we're going to find out why they're here. Let's see.
I mean, if you can get a hold of one of them. I wouldn't recommend going for their leader. His name is Ilgaroth, that's what I've heard them call him, and I've seen him kill 2 giants already for not bringing back the right supplies. Doesn't seem like one who likes to deal with failure or things he doesn't enjoy.
Well, you know what? I am going to get his attention. I'm going to talk to him, and I promise you that by the time the sun rises again, you're going to be out of this cage. So...
Can you tell me what your plan is?
I take out my coin of luck.
Cool.
We just need a little luck. For a bit. And it doesn't work.
Was that a good...
It's just a coin. That wasn't supposed to do anything.
Alright, that's already looking bad. Listen, they feed us. I mean, it's awful leftovers, but I'd say we should devise some sort of plan before we try anything stupid, like him. And he points again to just like the rotting, broken and battered body of a human man in the cage with you.
Okay.
He knew rudimentary giant, tried to parlay. Ilgaroth didn't like it. Goodbye.
Well, you could have told me that sooner.
I mean, I tried.
Okay, let's see. Come on, Deirdre. I can get out of here easily.
How?
It's about you.
How?
I can teleport, obviously.
Oh, what? Can you teleport with multiple people?
No.
Well, I mean, we can use that, though. That's good. We can use that.
Obviously, I should have teleported long before this, but...
Yeah, I'm really questioning your rationale here. It's fine. I'm not here to judge. We're both in the same situation. I have nothing over you.
This cage obviously has a locking mechanism.
Yeah, it's a giant key.
Do you know who has the key?
And he sort of looks out and he says, to be totally honest, I'm not sure. They seem to pass it around. Though I do get the sense that the ones forging are the ones calling the shots. The big ones with the weapons seem to just be brute force, not as well respected.
So they're craftsmen. Okay.
Oh, that's what fire giants do. They craft and they slave. That's sort of their whole thing. Which is why I'm surprised they're trying to conquer. It doesn't seem like something they'd normally do.
Maybe they're being forced out of their homes. Maybe...
The possibility.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, it doesn't particularly affect us. Unless we can offer them something that they actually need.
I don't know if you know this, but since they're fire giants, are they susceptible to cold?
I think all they are is not susceptible to fire.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm not exactly an expert in... I'm an expert in fighting ghosts, not fire giants.
Fun.
Yeah.
But you wish they're all dead, fire giants.
It would make my job a lot easier here.
Yeah. Trying to see what I got on me. I don't have anything really good to trade.
Do you have any people who are going to come looking for you? I mean, my companion... The issue is the tournament is today, and my companion was dead set on going, so she won't probably even notice I'm gone until tomorrow.
My friends are in the tournament too, but they'll notice when I'm gone. I'm pretty loud.
Are they capable of fighting? Are they just royal family? Like, I don't know where you come from.
I barely know them. There's a fish guy, there's a guard, there's my BFF, she's a fun girl. I mean, they're all capable people.
A guard?
They're really capable.
Huh. Interesting. Well, let's hope that they can do something.
But we can do something ourselves. I can teleport out of here, or we can figure out who has the key. I can lift the key off of them, or
Well, how much can you lift? It's a huge key.
Never mind that plan.
Huh.
I have another plan.
I'm all ears and only one eye.
Oh, I would like you if we were in this situation. I have a spell that I can...
You're a
take you to a
wizard.
different plane of existence.
Sorry, what?
Hear me out.
I'm here. I'm listening.
You're gonna have to say that again. I just spasmed.
No, I'm listening. Take me to another plane of existence? What are you talking about?
I I can banish you to a different plane for a minute. If we can get them to move this cage, you'll pop back in the same spot, but not in the cage.
Move the cage? I mean, I guess everything here is somewhat mobile, but how do we get them to move the cage?
We get them really angry. I'm really good at that.
Well, they'll just kill us! Listen, I know this is the only plan we have, but this feels foolhardy.
Yeah, okay. I seem to be the only one making plans here, so... Shush.
I can't teleport. I can hold my own in a fight, but they took me down. I mean, they're strong.
I know.
I was lucky to get out with my life. If we had more of us, I mean, I don't know how powerful a spellcaster you are, but I figure our odds against a group of, 15, 16 giants? Against the two of us? Maybe the two of us versus one. Maybe. But...
Yeah, no, let's see.
Man.
What are the bars of the cage made out of?
Iron.
Iron?
You notice that everything pretty much in here is made out of just, like, ugly, functional, and strong iron. There's no finesse to anything here. It's all very, very purpose-oriented.
Yeah. I could make fire, we could melt the iron. Do you think they'd notice?
I mean, how hot a fire can you make?
Depends.
I don't know. I mean, it's not... I was going to say it's not a bad plan. It is a bad plan, but it's better than nothing. This teleportation thing. But let's talk about alternatives here. I wouldn't like to, go to another plane I don't know. That doesn't sound awesome.
It's just a harmless demi-plane.
Okay, when you say other plane, my mind directly goes to the Shadowfell, and I don't want to go anywhere near that ever again, so...
You know, yeah, that's on me. I should have explained more.
But also, I mean, then what do I do after I'm out? I just run? You've seen the size of their legs. They can catch up with us.
I can make us run really fast.
Alright. Okay, that's plan... I'm not gonna give it the A. I'm not gonna say plan A, because that feels like not a plan A. Let's talk... That's plan B, yeah?
Let's make that plan G.
That's...
Hopefully we have more plans.
Alright, plan G. That's fine, I guess. What can we offer these giants? I mean... That's the easiest way to get ourselves ingratiated. We may still be slaves, but perhaps we could work our way up the ladder a little bit.
Okay, I have 22 gold. I have a ring of warmth. I have fan of wind and a coin of luck.
Was that the thing that you just flipped and it didn't do anything? Or was that just a gold coin?
That was just a gold coin, a nice little flourish. I have this coin of luck.
That's...
Different one.
Alright, I suppose. I don't know if they're gonna want to bargain. They seem to be able to make whatever they need. What services can we provide? I know I can provide translation, but they don't seem to need that yet.
No, they don't. I mean, they make all these weapons and stuff. Do they want someone who can make them a trade deal with a prosperous nation?
Well, that actually might not be terrible. Could you do that?
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, my dad taught me how to do that since I was 6. When my brother wanted my dolls, I literally made him give me half his room.
Wow, that's what nation?
Salos.
Salos. I'm a little hesitant because it's so far south and they do live far in the north, but I mean,
right over here.
Clearly something's going on. I mean, I don't know why they're down here in Caerleone at all. So...
Or,
it's worth a shot. We'll call that plan C, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we can convince them that I can make a trade deal with the city right over there, that I forget the name of.
Hero?
Yeah. And maybe they can send me there as a diplomat.
That's not a terrible idea. Hero does export mainly fine arts and technology, but I don't know if they know that. They don't seem to care about much that's outside of their particular realm.
We can use that to our advantage.
That's... I mean, I can't imagine they've been sending scouts in. Those would be pretty easy to notice.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Those are good. I'd say we try that before we try, the demi-plane.
Hey, it's a plan. Okay, how do we get their attention?
I can think of a couple of ways, but you think you're going to be able to instruct me on what to say effectively enough that you'll be able to get what you're trying to say across? I'm not exactly charismatic. And he gestures towards his face, which is, not very attractive.
What about this? What if you talk, but I stand in front of you and keep my mouth open and closed? No, wait, that's dumb.
Yeah, I feel like that would get us killed just immediately.
Fine, I'll tell you what to say, and I'll make it good.
All right. Man, I don't want to get murdered here. So have that banishment thing ready.
I'll keep it ready. Also, you don't want to get murdered? That's so weird.
All right. I can't tell when you're joking. You remind me of Kay just a little bit too much sometimes.
Who?
Don't worry about it. And then he calls out in giant, you assume. And one of the forge giants sort of looks up, says something to another one, and the big guard ones, and the guard comes over and bends down. And the two of them start talking to each other. And he turns back to you and he says, how can we prove that we can do this?
Ask if they have paper. I can make you write a contract.
He turns back and they talk, and the giant sort of looks around confused. Then you notice that the word paper is said in common, not in giant. And then there's shakes his head and turns around and says, they don't use paper. They just inscribe on iron and stone.
Do you feel capable of inscribing on iron or stone?
I mean, we can give it a shot. And he turns around and he starts the conversation again. The giant seems a little incredulous. Says something, shakes his head, and then walks over to one of the forge giants. They talk for a moment. The forge giant sort of shakes his head, and the giant they have this conversation. It looks like the forge giant doesn't want to do this. Feels like a waste of time. And the other giant's just seems to be fuck it, I don't know, I'm bored, let's do this. After some time, the guard giant comes back, says something to G, stands up, and then walks inside the cave. And G turns to you and says, well, we're about to inscribe a contract. It's going to take about an hour and a half before we can actually start inscribing. It's going to take some time to forge it based off the other stuff they're making right now. But if they like the contract, we can meet with Ilgaroth.
Okay, some quick tips.
Yeah.
Smile. Everyone appreciates a good, welcoming smile.
How's that?
You're getting there.
All right.
You just have to feel it from within. Okay, I find a little hair flip goes a long way.
I don't have hair.
You can still do the motions. I find compliments are a really nice thing to do. Everyone loves a good compliment.
My oh my, Ilgaroth, you're mighty tall today. I mean, I don't...
Mighty Ogoroth, your powerful build inspires awe among the masses. Something like that. Really grovel a little bit, but not too much. Don't be annoying.
Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like that would work coming from you, but I don't know if it really fits my whole aesthetic.
That's why we talked about the smiling.
All right. Yeah, you really do remind me of Kay.
Okay, you said that again after I asked you the first time who that was, and you said no, so obviously you don't want to tell me what it is, even though you keep mentioning it, so you kind of do want to tell me.
No, I just didn't have time, and the giant was sort of here.
Oh, okay.
No, Kay's my companion, my assigned hunting partner by the cryptal convocation, and
Kay is the one who is going to notice you're gone and come save us?
She might, or she might get absolutely blasted, and spend the day and night in a drunken stupor.
Oh my god, last night I got so drunk I almost jumped to the lake.
Great, that's good. That inspires confidence in this partnership to come.
I feel fine. I'm fine.
You feel here? You feel fine. All right.
I mean, like, it's not the best, like, situation, but your father's not trying to sacrifice you, am I right?
Sorry, what did you just say?
Okay, let's talk about trade agreements.
No. No! You just mentioned that your father he tried to sacrifice you.
Yeah, he's very sorry, but, like, I figured it was time to get out of town.
No, you're not wrong. Who?
What?
This is the one you're gonna try to form a trade agreement with? The man who tried to sacrifice his own daughter? Oh, man. Maybe we're in a tougher spot than I thought we were.
Hey, it's the best idea we got, and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Trade agreements.
I
They
mean,
have iron and iron horse. What do they want?
it's a great question. I mean, they've been talking about conquering new lands, building castles and fortresses.
They want land. No, they're nomadic, but they want to settle down.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they are nomadic. They have the emblem of the Forge King on them, and he has an established kingdom up north in Skembra. He gestures around. You see that this emblem is a diamond with like a flaming hammer in the center of it.
So first off, we want to know why they had to leave. Because if we know why they had to leave, we know what they want.
Yeah, I suppose you're not wrong. And we can't lead with that, though.
Obviously not. We have to embellish a little bit. Pepper it in here and there.
So what are we getting them? Somebody to buy their weapons, a source of much gold, and we could throw slaves into the bargain as well. We know they love those.
I don't think any other people would, Oh wait, we're not actually going to make a trade.
Of course not.
Yeah, we can promise slaves.
Yeah, I wouldn't just promise people's lives away like that, but you gotta tickle the fancy of the giants here.
Yeah, you can throw in something like, your iron works are impressive. I'm curious as to why you left the iron-rich mountains.
Not a bad plan.
Like that.
Not bad. Cool. I'm gonna refer to you as a chief diplomat from. Do you want to be from Salos or you want to be from Hira? What's the plan here?
It depends. Do you think they know what Salos is? Because that has a lot of clout.
I mean, it's a continent. I don't know if all of them necessarily will. I'd hope that their leader does, but there's really no guarantee. They're pretty insular.
Just give me the title of, member of one of the 7 royal families of Salos, chief diplomat of... What's the city's name again?
What?
What's the city's name again?
Dude, I don't remember. The city of Sentio. Yeah.
No, the city that we're doing the tournaments.
Oh, Hira.
Hira. Chief diplomat of Hira.
All right. So a member of the 7 royal families of Salos, chief diplomat of Hira.
So if they know one and don't know the other, it's fine. If they know both, awesome.
And just your name? Just tell them your name. Or do you want a fun fake name? Might as well, enjoy it, I guess.
Duchess Alexandria.
Ooh.
I don't know. It just came to me. Ooh.
That fits, really. I mean, your dress is a little dirty, but,
Should I dye my hair? Oh, we can't dye my hair.
we don't have time for that. I mean, I guess we have like an hour, so.
This is fun. Ooh, who are you?
I figured I was just a translator. I mean, we can't have come together because they captured me separately.
What if
All right.
you are a long-lost hero, striving to find your home, but you can't remember it, and then you found this shining light of a woman, and you're like, let me help you. Something like that.
Yeah, how about I just got lost and they captured me? I just happened to speak giant.
Okay.
Not one for the theatrics, and if we keep our lying to a minimum, or I suppose if I keep my lying to a minimum, then we're in.
Keep your lying to a minimum. I'm really good at lying, so we'll be fine.
Believe it. Hopefully that'll come across in translation. If I keep as monotone as possible, maybe they'll believe me.
Keep as monotone as possible. Always gesture towards me, so their eyes are on me.
Not bad. Well,
should I mime it? I'm good at miming. It's a new skill I've developed.
I think maybe we hold off on miming as a backup plan in case talking doesn't get it through.
If that's a backup plan, is that plan like D?
That'd be, I think, C.5 maybe.
Okay, there's too many plans.
Well, we're going with plan C.5. We might jump to G if we have to.
Okay, let's God hope we don't go to Z.
Oh, don't even. Well, what is Z?
I don't know. Should we have a Z?
I mean, just try to kill them, I guess. I don't know.
No, I feel like that's like H. I feel like Z is just like we die, you know?
Oh, so it's not a plan. It's just what's gonna happen.
Make it as quick and easy as possible.
All right. Okay, that's just really unfortunate.
Can I get that?
What?
There are over 20 other plans.
But we didn't make any of them.
Did we?
I mean, we didn't. I was right. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm just like kind of scared, so I'm just like.
No, it's fine. You really should meet Kay if we make it out of this alive. I think you two would get on real good.
I would love to make a new friend.
Yeah, she's also a cryptal, so I mean, don't count on making friends, but.
By the way, you've traveled a lot, right?
Yeah.
Necklace. Do you know what this is? It's my only symbol that I don't know.
Can I see it?
Sure.
I've seen something similar, actually. Though I can't identify it. I have seen it. There was we were walking through the Hespen Mountains in above the Bergen Coalition, and we came across this small lake between two of the craggy peaks, and there was somewhat of an ancient ruined shrine there. This seems similar as far as symbols go. I mean, we only did that. We came pretty much straight up through there, so that was about, I want to say, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? If we had a map, could you point it to me on a map?
Maybe. It was deep in the Hespens. They're not terribly documented.
That's fine. When you looked at this shrine, did it look like the shrine to a god of a passive-aggressive silence?
I can't say that I would have that information for you. It looked abandoned and unused, but it didn't seem to be falling apart. It was made out of wood, and the wood wasn't rotting, but it certainly had plants growing all up and around it.
Thank you so much. That's more than I've ever had.
Oh, of course. I'm glad I could help, I guess. Why are you interested?
Back to the whole sacrificial thing. This holy symbol appeared, some god chose me, and then I don't know who it is, but like, bing bang bongo, dad wanted to sacrifice me, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I'm on this pilgrimage, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know what you mean, but I kind of got the gist of it. That's unfortunate. Well, I mean, did you get any benefits out of this divine, I guess, patronage?
I cast light on my hand. I can do magic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can't do that.
But I lost all my money. I used to have a lot of money.
I mean, yeah.
Magic money.
I feel like you can make money out of magic. That's what I do as a profession. So.
True, or you can use money to buy magic.
That's true. That's what the people I sell the objects to get out of my position. And when they're not confiscated by the convocation, of course. You've been surprisingly talkative. I mean, most folks don't really care to talk to cryptals. And I mean, I can't blame them based off of the things my forebears have done.
I'm in a giant poopy pink dress in the middle of a fire giant camp.
I mean, you have a fair point there. Well, I mean, if I was going to be stuck in here with anyone, you're not my first choice, but you're certainly not my last.
That was a very excellently done compliment.
It wasn't supposed to be an insult. It was supposed to be a compliment. I mean, my first choice would be someone who could get us both out of here easily. You understand.
Fair.
Or Kay, because she tends to find a way out of problems pretty easily, but...
Fair. I mean, like, sorry I'm not Kay. I mean, like...
No, I don't want you to be Kay. She
Kay,
is
you know?
goddamn insufferable 90% of the time, but, you know.
People usually find me insufferable 90% of the time.
Yeah, I get that.
So what would you say, like, 65?
65... Oh, percent of the time? I don't know. I haven't spent enough time around you.
Okay, I'm trying to get it down to, like, below 50.
I don't have tips. I'm not a people person.
I'm a people person.
A people... What?
People times 2? I don't know. I was trying to...
Right, this got awkward.
Yeah. Where's the Giants?
They've got about another 45 minutes. I'm gonna go do some push-ups and get ready to fight, just in case we have to. I suggest you do what you need to do. See you then.
What do you mean, see you then? We're in a small cage.
He's doing push-ups at this point, facing away from you.
Just like,
I mean, like he's a Goliath. He's got a huge, muscular, strong body, and like those dark leathers don't leave much to the imagination.
you know, I took sculpture classes. I can appreciate the body.
Cool. So, is there anything you want to do in this time period?
What can I do? Mending my dress.
Cool.
Always gotta do that.
Of course.
Wait, I'm gonna use augury. Is this
Do you have to roll, or do I have to just tell you?
You just have to tell me.
I
don't think it's a roll thing.
So you pull out the 3 cards, and you get the red staff, the dark miasma, and the iron feather, which to you says wheel. Not woe, but wheel.
Can you say that again?
Wheel. You got wheel. Yeah.
Ooh. 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 Okay.
You do notice though, as this time passes by, an owl flits down out into the campsite and lands on top of the cage and just sort of looks down at you, cocks its head a little bit.
An owl?
An owl, yeah.
Hello.
It just stares at you. Just looks.
I know the world is filled with a lot of weird things, so if you can understand me, kind of in a jam here. If you could help us out, that'd be nice. And if you're not, you're just a regular owl, then you have very nice plumage.
It sort of looks at you a little bit more, and then sort of like ruffles a little bit as you say plumage. Takes a couple like steps on the top of your cage and then flits away.
I look over at G and I'm like, can't hurt, right?
What?
Never mind. How many push-ups are you gonna do?
He's done like well over 200 at this point. He's doing a fuck ton. He switches over to sit-ups at that point. He's like, as many as it takes. Ugh.
If you still have some time, instead of exercising, do you want to gamble?
Nope. I don't trust fate. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
True.
Cool, so the rest of the time continues to pass, and the 2 giants make their way over to you with a large iron slate that they slide between the bars. It's very thin, but it's huge, and they boom, and it lands on its side. And then they toss in like a giant-sized like stencil, effectively, and they poker. Not enough to like do really much of anything with, other than its intended purpose of they have to go together to be the stencil. But
I can like make the lock with it.
it'd be hard to have finesse with this. It's like the size of a greatsword.
Yeah.
Like, all right, what are we writing?
Do I really have to write a whole contract, or can I just say I?
What's the gist of it?
What?
What's the gist of it?
The gist of it is it explains our intentions as diplomats in furthering both the causes of the fire giants and the neighboring cities. It promises goodwill and boons on both sides. It promises lucrative trade and all that fun stuff.
Cool.
A lot of legal mumbo jumbo.
Cool. It takes you the better part of really that whole afternoon to get it finally like scribed down. But eventually the two of you, him scribing, you dictating, do finish it as the sun, like there's an orange glow being cast across the camp now from the sun, which is beginning to set. He calls out, they come over and they pick it up and take the tools away. And you see one of them disappear into the cave. And he says, well,
That sound good.
fate awaits us, I suppose.
I put a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. Do you think they'll understand it?
I truly have no idea. I have never spoken to a fire giant before. Last night, so... From what I've heard, they don't tend to care about that sort of thing, but, these don't seem to be your ordinary fire giants, or at least they're not motivated by ordinary means, so...
Okay, could I've actually, like, during all the legal mumbo jumbo, put in a clause that said, like, no matter how the trade deal goes, we go free? Like, one of those, like, kind of, like...
Yeah,
loophole things?
Yeah, it's in there.
Cool.
Pretty quickly, the large guard, one of the large guard giants. In fact, you can recognize the one that brought you in. He has sort of a cut in one of his eyebrows. It splits. His big, like, orange eyebrow has a split in it. So you do recognize him. He comes, pulls a giant iron key out of his pocket, but stands exactly in the doorway. He reaches behind him and picks up these big old iron chains and gestures for you to come towards him.
Thank you so much.
He puts the chains on the ground and grunts in giant at G, who sighs and says, I guess I have to put them on there. They're worried about breaking your tiny wrists. And then he clinks it on, and then he holds his hand out for you to clink his on. And the two of you your hands are not bound together directly, but there's a chain connecting your hands. You can't really get them more than shoulder width apart. And a long chain connecting the two of your handcuffs to each other, as well as to a third one, which ends in a huge handle that is being held by the giant who brought you in. He then pushes G in the direction of the cave.
I walk next to G. I'm like, just so you know, if things go south, I'm not going to teleport away. We're going to get out of here together.
Hey, I appreciate it. If things go south, I'm really counting on you, so. Here we go. You go and you go. He pulls aside this sort of chain link curtain that leads into the cave, and you duck under it, and immediately it is very dark in here. You do see large rubies mounted in the walls of this place that are glowing with a low light, but it is still quite dark as you get walked in. The main entryway here seems to be a stockpile room. There are, over in one corner of it, there are just heaps and heaps of iron, like unrefined iron ore and iron bars that are really just not... it's an iron bar, but it's not like your nice looking iron bar that you recognize. It's like they just put it into a conglomeration of iron. You also see a bunch of food stockpiled here as well. You can actually make out a dead manticore in one of the corners, which is a little scary. You've experienced manticores before. You know how difficult they are to deal with.
Yeah. As I smile, head held high.
Yeah,
shoulders back,
but it's dead, and it's piled amongst a bunch of like bears and mountain lions, and like seem to have their food stockpile here. It leads. There are 2 exits to this room. They are both carved out of stone, but one of them is just an open like cave that like goes down. You can see it goes farther and downwards. The other one seems to be an iron door that actually has been implemented in this cave. It suggests that they've been here for a while. Like they've done a lot of digging and a lot of building here without going noticed for like quite some time. Which is surprising because they're fucking giants, but it's interesting. They go over and they on the door, and you.
It was interesting again. It was kind of garbled.
Oh, it's just interesting. Like they're giants. They're not known for being stealthy by any means, but they have quite the operation set up here, and no one that you know of. You haven't been warned about this before, so.
Yeah.
You hear a. They knock on the door, and you hear a voice utter giant. Something in giant from within. This voice has a slightly tinny quality to it, and it's higher pitched than most of like the deep bellows that you've been hearing. The door is open, and the 2 of you are just shoved in. Your handle that he was holding gets hooked onto a hook on the inside of the door, and clamped in, so no one is actually holding you, but you are sort of attached to the wall. And then the door slams shut. You find yourself in a. It's hard to say what exactly it is, but it strikes you as a war room. There is a huge iron table in the middle. And this piece of furniture, as opposed to all the other ones, is immaculate. It is well built. There are decorations all up the sides of precious gemstones. It's really, like, it is very, very nice. In fact, most of the things in this room do look nicer than most of the things out and around. Not as hastily made, perhaps. Craftsmanship went into this. Stretched across the table is a large hide of some sort of very, very, very large animal. And there are various bottles of liquid of different red colors that are around it, and it seems little utensils with which to draw on the hide. It's not paper, but it seems like it might serve the purpose of that. What's really the 2 interesting things is, one, the huge greatsword strapped to the wall behind this table. It is covered in runic markings, and it is beautiful. It seems to be made out of stone, but you can, as you look at it a little closer, it's some sort of metal alloy that looks to be like cracked stone, and it has these huge runic markings all up the blade. It's a nice piece of work. And the other thing is the giant in the room. Surprisingly, it's a lot smaller than really any of the giants you've seen out here so far. He's still a giant. He's still very large, but as far as giants are concerned, not very big. He has long orange, sort of long orangish reddish hair that is currently pulled back by an iron sort of visor, sort of like a circlet sort of thing, but it goes down and it frames the bottom of his face as well. He has this dark ashen skin and a huge like burned scalding mark across his face, which is interesting, I guess, for you, because they don't seem to care much about getting burnt, but this one he does have just like fire scorched into him, and you can see as he sort of looks at you, it glows a little bit as he turns his head. He's dressed in big, heavy metal plate armor, although this is once more a lot better looking than the other ones that you'd seen so far. He's clearly a commanding officer of some kind. He's standing by the table, and he puts his hands on it and leans forward. Begin! And
You cut out. What did you say?
he said, begin. In common, but like very broken. And G says, I guess he knows a little bit of common. This could be easier.
Okay.
What should I say? I'll introduce you. And he starts speaking in Giant and gesturing towards you. And you can hear words like Celos, the words that don't exist in Giant that he is peppering in. This commander's face does not change. His expression is stone, effectively, throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he seems to end his little speech. The commander looks down at the tablet that you guys had made. And then he says, "Why do I need Deirdre, or Duchess?"
What did he say? Why do I need?
Yes, he wants to know why he needs this.
Why do you need it? Well,
And he's translating on the fly for you.
you need something. It hasn't escaped our attention that you are not in your ancestral home. Something moved you here. You want something. I can get you that. I just need to know what it is.
Cool, make a persuasion check. I will say disadvantage because you're being translated.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make TV. Shh.
What?
Oh, I was talking to people outside. I was telling them I was trying to make TV.
One more time.
There's people outside being loud. I told them I'm trying to make TV. They didn't hear me or care.
Okay. 16.
He responds in Giant towards G, and G turns to you and says, he says us lowly small folks don't get to know Gilkrung Uvendad, Forge King's reasoning. But they need new locations, and they don't care what they have to take them. He doesn't seem too terribly interested in making friendly arrangements when he thinks he can just bulldoze all of them. If he can just take over a town, why make a contract with one?
Okay, I didn't hear a lot of that. So, they want land?
Basically, he's not allowed to tell you why they're here. They just need new places, and he doesn't know why he would need to do this diplomatically when he thinks he can just squash them flat.
Very true. You're very big and mighty. You probably could squash them flat. But that could take a lot of time and a lot of resources. And why not take the easy way out? It's the smart thing to do.
The comrade, he is translated. He responds. He sort of sits back a little bit before he responds, and you can see that there's a big iron stool that he's sitting on, and he sits back and leans back in it a little bit, just man spread as fuck. G says, and you could guarantee him an easy, quick way.
Absolutely.
Make a persuasion check. And I'm going to say just straight persuasion, even though you've given some good points. So.
Okay. $23.
23, cool. He picks it up, and he puts his finger down onto it, and puts his finger to a particular place, and starts talking to G, and G goes... He says he agrees on the condition that we don't go free. That we remain as his diplomats for this new kingdom he's creating.
The condition is that we stay as diplomats for him?
Yes, and he says diplomats, I read slaves who do what he wants us to do.
Say that one more time.
He says diplomats. I get the sense that means slaves who talk.
Slaves. May we ask what our jobs would entail?
It's back and forth. We'd serve as the main diplomats going back and forth between first Hira, and then surrounding countries, or surrounding cities, and then perhaps even the capital of this place. He has no interest in Salos. He knows what it is, but it's too far south. He doesn't care that much. We would stay on his staff, more or less, until we died, or until we found people better than us. Yeah.
Do you need both of us? Do you want this clumsy one, or do you want the actual diplomat?
Wait, don't. You're gonna get me killed here.
No, I'm gonna say I need you for the time being, but then afterwards I don't need you and you can just go home.
No, and then they're gonna kill me. They don't. They'll probably.
Fine, whatever. Say yes.
Are you sure? We're really no better off than we were before. I mean, I suppose we might have done Hira a bit of a favor, but...
I mean, like, this gives us a much better opportunity to escape later.
That's true. That's true. It's a long game. I get it. Makes sense. He turns and he says another thing. They talk back and forth for a little bit, actually. He actually responds. The giant and the Goliath seem to have a conversation of their own for a brief moment. And then Ilgaroth just sort of nods, takes a big knife off of his table and cuts a rune into the bottom of your contract, and then places it down. Then he calls out, the door opens, and the giant that brought you in, the eyebrow guy, unhooks you and starts dragging you back to your cage. At this point, it is solidly nighttime. So you're put back in your cage. It's nighttime. And yeah, she says, I mean, it could have gone worse.
Yeah, we're still breathing. Why can't you teleport? This would be so much easier.
I'm not a magic user. I have magical things about me because of my, training, but I can't teleport.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
As he says, I can't teleport, you hear a familiar sweet southern drawl coming from the corpse in the corner. And you see that there's a figure under the body, dressed in blue with a tricorner hat. He says, he might not be able to teleport, but I sure can. You see Nero, your southern gentleman.
But I don't remember him, do I?
You ran into him, you... Yeah, you don't at all. You don't remember because you didn't see him again.
What? I'm, startled, but I try not to make a noise. I'm like, you're alive?
What? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not the dead guy. Deirdre, it's me. It's Nero. I'm coming to get you out of here.
Who?
Oh, shit. I forgot that you guys had your memories wiped.
Excuse me?
Did you not know? Your memories are gone.
I would remember a face like that.
We have met before. I mean, do you have a flower in your bag?
You say we met before?
Yeah.
Did we flirt before?
Well, I mean, I gave you a flower, so...
So I don't have to do it again. Okay, cool. You're gonna get us out?
Well, I can't get you both out at the same time, but I've been sneaking around. I had my owl do some recon. They seem to be planning a bit of an excursion into town, or at least to the outskirts of town tonight. When there's very few of them left here, I may be able to do something.
The gist again.
From what he could get, there are people. They're trying to go out. Sort of a scouting party is going to be sent to Hira tonight, and he's going to try to get you out then.
Okay, cool. So wait, are you the dead body, or are you?
No, I'm under the. And he pulls his face out a little bit. He's like, I can't.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. Okay. And I suppose you could teleport this one out. Then we don't even have to do anything.
Well, I be able to, but I need to sleep and heal a little bit first.
I can heal you right now.
No, not your kind of. He holds up his arm, and you can see that there's like a bunch of text and symbols just like literally carved into his arm, and it seems to pulse with a little bit of purple energy, vaguely. But it is a fresh wound. He's like, I just changed out some of my spells here, so I gotta let that finish.
Horrifying, okay.
Well,
Hope you feel better.
yeah, no, I will. And I'll see you when that search party begins. Don't do anything stupid, either of you, till that happens.
What? Who? Me? Never.
All right. Got your note, by the way. It was mighty instrumental in getting me here. So,
Oh, really? That actually worked out?
well, I mean, yeah, there was just a horse tied up by the lake, so I figured something might have gone wrong. Also, nobody had seen you for quite some time.
Speaking of the horse, it was a rental, so, if that could be brought back.
I'll do that now. I'll also get a word to your friends.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Gee, thank the nice man.
Thanks. Dead corpseman. I don't know. It's like, all right, okay. I'm gonna be going now, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Mighty fine to meet you again, Deirdre Rousseau.
It's nice to meet you,
Nero Athame.
Nero.
I'll be seeing you. And you see a flash of green energy under the corpse, and then the corpse sort of falls to the ground again.
Gee, did you see that, or am I just dreaming?
Yeah, no, he was trying to get in your pants, 100%.
I'm not wearing pants.
It's an expression.
Very crude.
Deirdre. All right. Well, that's good news.
Looks like we got a new plan A.
We do have a new plan A. Hopefully, I mean, our current plan will...
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Did we tell him that we got a peaceful solution here?
You could have jumped in.
I literally forgot until just now. There was a man appeared under a corpse. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. That could be bad. That could be bad. That could be bad.
I'm like trying to call for the owl. Ooh. Ooh.
One of the forest giants stands up and rattles your cage as though to get you to shut up. He's like, well, I mean, I suppose all we can do is, wait.
Yeah, we'll see. We have a lot of plans happening.
Yeah, keep Plan G ready just in case.
What?
Keep Plan G ready just in case.
One more time.
Keep Plan G ready just in case.
It's always cutting off the one word I can't hear.
Keep Plan G ready just in case.
Amazing. I'm sorry, I'm really tired.
No, I agree. I mean, maybe we should get a bit of a rest before our daring escape tonight. I don't have a southern accent. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that with a southern accent.
A corpse talks in a southern accent. Everyone just...
Yeah, I know. That was weird. Well, I'm going to get...
Southern what? What South are we talking about that has a southern accent?
I'm not Salos.
I'm talking to, like...
Oh, I think he's from either Kruth or Relfheim.
Is that south of here?
Yeah, south of here. It's
Okay.
yeah.
It still fits. Cool.
Yeah. The fantasy south.
Fantasy south.
He says, all right, I'm going to get some shut-eye, I think. Just try to prepare myself for whatever the fuck happens tonight.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully we don't die.
And even if we do, it was good trying not to die with you, Deirdre. And he holds out his big old Goliath hand.
It has been a pleasure. And you know what? You almost make being with a lot of fire giants worth it, my dear friend.
All right. No, that's a bit much, but thank you.
Oh, come on, G. We're friends now. G, come on.
All right. Sure, we're friends.
High five.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Low five.
Good night, Deirdre. And he sits down and he closes his eyes. Cool, so we'll pick up from there next time you play with us.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. That went a lot different than I expected it to go. So cool.
Really?
Yeah, no, honestly. Yeah, I thought you guys were just going to try to escape repeatedly.
No, I knew I was going to be pretty useless at that.
No, that's interesting. Cool, great. Well, we're going to cut back to the normal episode. I'll see you, the audience, there.
Wow, that was exciting. But who's left? Wallace is left. Come on in, Wallace.
Whoa! What did I miss?
Cool. So Emily's been busy with all sorts of really cool stuff. Emily was just in a show. It was really good. How many lines did you have in the show, Emily?
2.
And how many hours of rehearsal did you have to do every week?
Way too many.
So we're really glad to have them back, and we're gonna do some wacky shit today, if I do say so myself. Cool.
I would like the internet to know that I got new boots today and they look really cool.
I don't know if they got. Yeah, there you
they
go.
got them.
There it is. Cool. So it's just the two of us, and we're gonna do this. Cool. So let's get started then. Let's get my good playlist. That's not what I wanted. Playlists. Cool. So, Wallace, last thing you remember is going to a bar, drinking pretty much an entire bottle of wine by yourself, trying to go streaking with Deirdre, and then falling asleep in a house.
Sounds about right, yeah.
You woke up the next morning with the worst hangover you have ever had.
Including the one from...
Yeah. Like, really, truly the worst. And, like, you've had some hangovers. And you decided to stay in instead of going, because you weren't participating in any of the events that were happening today in the tournament, so you decided might as well just take the day and recover from this nightmare. So you spent most of the day just sort of tossing and turning in this unfamiliar bed. You're not really sure where you are, but after who knows how long of pain and sleeping and going in and out of consciousness, you're awoken to a voice, a young, sort of timid male voice going, Mr. Wallace, sir, hi, I have some soup, maybe, if you want that. And you open your eyes. You're in a small room. There is one bed, and you're in it, and also a lot of your vomit is in it. You can see through the window that it is like late afternoon, early evening at this point. You've spent the whole day pretty much sleeping. And there's this kid, like 18 tops, this half-elf kid. He's very scrawny, though he is wearing the armor of a lion knight. It doesn't fit him very well. He's tiny. He's holding a steaming bowl of soup. He says, my dad says that the cream of eel really helps with the hangovers. So I just thought maybe if you wanted.
You boy.
Yeah?
Bring me the soup. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, of course. So your friends told me to look after you.
Glug 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 glug.
It's ew. It's not good. Like, it's cream of eel. Like, it's
I
not.
love cream of eel.
All right, then it is good.
It's just like the cafeteria in the old days.
All right.
My boarding school days.
He's oh cool. I'm glad that I could. Hopefully those are good memories that I brought back. I suppose. I just made. My dad's at work and my brother's competing in the tournament, so I've just been sort of here all day. Your friends told me to make sure that you didn't choke on your own vomit.
Oh, did they? That's very sweet of them.
And they also told me to take away this, and he holds up your octopus goblet. I don't know why they told me to do that, but I feel like if you're feeling all right, then you can have it back.
Out of game question, do I know
Yeah,
what it is?
you've been told what it does.
Okay. out of game statement. I forget the magic word.
I believe it was just octopus. I'm pretty sure that's what you decided it was.
Oh yeah, my octopus.
Octopus! That's why, then. Okay, good, great, awesome.
Right.
So they're all at the tournament right now. I don't know how they're doing. I haven't been down there yet today, but my suggestion is you just sort of rest up and we meet up with them when they come back here tonight.
Alright. Here's the thing though. My bed is covered in what appears to be vomit.
Oh, that's my... Yep, okay.
Do you have a shower? Do you have a
Well, there's the lake.
lake?
Yeah, we're on Lake Beatura.
Oh. I don't remember if I know that or not.
You do.
Oh, I love the Lake Benatura. I'll
Well,
just go for a little
Beatura.
swim.
Yeah, okay. No,
Let's
yeah.
go for a little swim. Is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's...
I'm gonna just take, and then I'm gonna take the sheets off the bed and sort of like scoop, like make a sack. And I'll just take this with me. I think it's
no, that's fine.
Right.
Totally. I didn't really know what I was gonna do with them anyway, so.
I'm gonna take them outside.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll be right behind you. Give me a second. But you can go for it. I'm just gonna tell my dad that I'll be taking you down to the lake. I'll be back.
Alright. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Andreth Johnson.
Johnson. Right. Alright, Andy. Can I call you that?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the lake. I hope to see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Alright.
Okay.
Toodles.
I'll be right there.
So I'm gonna walk outside and I'm gonna walk outside.
Cool. You go outside and whew, it's a crisp like late summer day. At this point, you can sense that the seasons are changing. Like it's rather than late summer at this point, you're starting to feel like it's early fall. The sun is setting and you can hear some cheering happening from a far distance corner of the town. You assume that's where the tournament's going on. It's starting to get a little chilly. Minutes later. Well, before that happens, make a perception check.
Wow, I really forgot how to play. Perception is wisdom, right? No, it's its own thing. It's a thing.
It's a thing, yeah. I think it is wisdom. But...
Yeah. So that's gonna be 13.
Cool. So there are a couple people on the streets. It's not like late enough that people would be inside, and none of them really seem to strike you as too terribly interesting, except for there's a group of 3 guys sitting at a table outside what seems to be a dinner theater place, eating fish and chips. And when you come out, they look at you. They're 3 like two big burly dudes. One of them has a big old scar across his cheek. And the last one is a half-orc with a big tri-corner hat on his head and like long black hair, who just makes eye contact with you as you come out, scoffs, and then looks down back at his food.
I'm like, has my ass quit? No, it hasn't. And then I just sort of like, I kind of like flip my hair, and then I walk with purpose down to the lake,
Cool.
dragging my sack of vomit.
So Andy catches up with you. It doesn't take too long. It's also not very hard to find you because you are leaving a bit of a trail behind you in the dusty-ish road. He says, "Oh yeah, I know a shortcut to the lake. If we just cut right through here." I can only take it because actually I'm Lion Knight and only Lion Knights are allowed to use this little shortcut. But I can get us through, so that'll be pretty cool.
But I'm not a Lion Knight.
But I am.
But if I'm not a Lion Knight, am I not allowed to go in the Lion Knight shortcut?
Because you're with me and I'm a Lion Knight, so we can go through the Lion Knight shortcut. Because one Lion Knight we're half Lion Knight, I guess. Our little group here.
But if a Lion Knight is taking me through the Lion Knight shortcut, that's only for Lion Knights, and I'm not a Lion Knight, how am I supposed to get through?
Do you want us to just go the long way?
No.
Okay. I missed Wallace so much. Okay, this way. He leads you down some side road or two, down 2 flights of stairs to a thin alleyway where you see a big barrel-chested human man with sort of a long, droopy mustache standing there. He's like, "Hey, who goes there? It's a Lion Knight checkpoint." And he says, "That's all right. Andreth Johnson, sir. I'd like to take my companion here, who I've been assigned to take care of, through the checkpoint to the lake. All right, step on through, I guess. Watch yourself, he says to you as you go through.
I'm like, thank you very much, sir. And then I hand him my sack and I'm like, I'm sorry, the kid got a little sick on the way. He's afraid of motion, so I'm really sorry, but he just, I figured it's lionine stuff, you should take care
What
of.
is?
Oh. Thank you. I'm like, halfway down, bye.
So Andy takes you down to the lake. You're at sort of a port area. You can see that the only access to this small dock that you're onto this lake is through that checkpoint you just went through, as well as the doors to the buildings that line it. But those all seem to be government-run establishments for the most part. There are 2 boats docked in the port right now. One of them is a cargo boat sort of situation, and the other one is just a small canoe. But Andy says, "Oh yeah, the cargo boat just came in. Actually, they're the ones who delivered the eels to us. They're not Lake Beatura eels. They're actually all the way from the ocean, which is pretty fun. There's some eels from the Bloody Sea, which they say are the best kind."
Well, I'll say, that was delicious.
I'm glad you liked it.
Boop him on the nose.
Oh, thank you. Okay. You and your friends, you're all really friendly physically.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just an observation. Here's the lake. I mean, go if you want to swim. It's all yours.
Alright.
I don't think I will. I'm a little tired.
What's the state of my clothes? Are they
Disheveled, yucky for sure. Yeah. You were shirtless when you went to bed. I distinctly remember Wallace trying to strip before bed.
What kind of clothes am I wearing?
Well, your armor. Your leather, I believe, is what you have.
Yeah. Would mending? Did druids have any? Oh my god, Jesus.
Remember spells?
Remember, I got spells. You gotta give me a second. You gotta edit this part out. Druid 5e spells.
While we're waiting, make sure to check out the podcast. It's a good way to catch up if you want to know what's happening right now. Or send to your friends so they can catch up to you, and you guys can talk about all the crazy shenanigans these folks get up to. Also, if you have any suggestions for a name of the party, send it our way, because we need it. What else? T-shirt competition. I think this is the last episode we're accepting fan art and riddle submissions after/during, so that's exciting. Let's get those in. So you might win a t-shirt. Might win a crazy t-shirt made by all of us here at DP Dungeon Party. Don't know why I said it like that. What other fun announcements are there?
I'm done.
No more fun announcements.
I don't have mending because it's a cantrip and I didn't take that and I can't do that.
That's what I thought.
Well, anyway, I'm just gonna get a little naked.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. We're doing that. That's the one we're doing here. Okay."
It's okay. I'm gonna get in the water.
Okay,
I get in the water. I bring my clothes in the water. Scrub them a little with the water. Maybe a stone.
Sure. A magic stone?
Ooh, if I threw this stone, it would work really well. I'm not gonna throw it though. I'm just gonna rub. And I'm gonna get all nice and clean. I'm gonna splash around. I'm gonna do this a lot.
Okay, a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You crave the wet, and here it is. You know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay back and I'm gonna look under the water. Is there anything cool under there?
Perception check. 16. Fish. It's like a thriving lake. It doesn't seem polluted really at all, which is fun. Which is interesting because it's right on the edge of a city. And there seems to be like basically no like civilization-based waste in the lake from what you can see. There's some sea life flitting about. It doesn't seem like they come too close to the boats, but you can see them out in the distance a little bit. It's nice. It's very nice. It's a beautiful lake, which is why it's called Lake Beatura.
Wow, what a beautiful lake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out now, so you might want to cover your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna like wring out my clothes. Gonna hang them up on a tree. I'm assuming there's a tree.
There's no trees. You're on like a dock.
I'm gonna put them out on the dock. I'm gonna go under the dock, and I'm gonna. Oh, this is gonna be so time consuming. Produce flame a little to like dry them.
So you're gonna produce flame under the wooden dock.
I am. My intelligence is not that high.
Cool. So you go under the dock and says, Are you dressed?
No, just give me a minute.
Why does it smell like burning?
I don't know.
I'm gonna. Whoa! What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop! A, where are you? B, why is there flame coming from under the docks?
No reason.
Please stop. If you're doing this, please stop doing this.
Why?
Because you're gonna burn the docks. They're catching on fire.
My clothes have got to be dry.
Okay, but we can dry them other ways. Don't burn the docks down, please.
But what if I...
I'll get in a lot of trouble if you do this. Are you just gonna keep doing it, or is that... Stop. Please stop. What can I make you do to stop you? Oh god, it's on fire. And at this point, the dock is actually just sort of on fire.
Oh, I get it. Because the dock was going to stop burning.
Yes, it's currently burning.
Oh, I get it.
Please.
I'm gonna shape water over it.
Oh my god. Why?
Well, now my clothes are all
Okay,
wet.
but don't put the fire on again, please. Can you come out from under the docks? We should probably head back.
Alright, I am stark naked.
Oh god. Just put your clothes on, please.
But they're wet and they're burned. They're burned.
They're a little burned, but that would be on you, I think, Mr. Wallace, sir.
Well, I pick up my pants to reveal that they've become assless chaps.
Oh no. Oh no! I feel like I have the power to stop this, but I won't.
And I would put on what's left of whatever else I had. And then I'm like, alright.
This is really awful for me. I don't know. Oh god. And at this point you hear the sound of heavy boots coming in your direction through the way that you previously came.
Like these?
Yes, like this. But not as rubber, more leather probably. And Andy says, "Can you cover up before my bosses get here?"
What it? I'm gonna wild
and he hands you his shield.
I'm gonna wild shape into a little mouse. I'm gonna climb up his leg and go on his shoulder.
Okay, this is okay. All right. And you see the people come through. The people coming through the alleyway aren't Lion Knights, but in fact, the 3 thugs that you saw earlier, led by the big half-orc, sort of saunter up and look around. One of them says, "Hey, didn't he come this way?" "Yeah, I thought he did, boss. That's what the guard back there told us to do." And Andy says, hello. Are you allowed to be through here? Did my superior officer allow you to come through here? And they're like, "Yeah, he let us after some convincing." Nah. And the half-orc saunters his way up to Andy, who doesn't have his weapons readily available to him. He's just like, "Hi, sir. My name is Andreth Johnson, a Lion Knight, and I would like to ask you..." And the half-orc puts his hand, like, on his throat. "You seen a blue man walk through here? He might be going by the squid. He might be going by Wallace. One of the two. You seen him?"
Do I recognize these people?
Make a history check.
3.
No. They certainly seem like the kind of people you used to deal with a lot in your previous life, but they don't particularly ring a bell.
Alright, well, while he does that, I'm gonna jump off his shoulder and like kind of like run around to the other side of them.
Cool. Make a stealth check at advantage. Because you're a mousey.
I'm actually a rat.
Cool.
because there's no mice. Mice don't exist.
There's no mice. You heard them. There's no mice in D&D.
Mice do not exist. Mice is just a myth.
The mice myth.
What was I doing? Stealth?
Stealth at advantage.
Stealth at advantage. That's gonna be 13.
Cool. You're fine there. And one last one. You're fine. Roll like ass, just like usual. These are my two. I have these two d20s that I roll, and I think they're very nice, but they roll they roll terribly, and I don't know what to do about it. I guess I could break out my like Mondo blue one. You know the one.
It's too big.
It's simply too big.
It's simply too big. That's all.
So you run behind them, and as you do, the one in the back goes, "Oh, boss, it's getting to be that time. Let's hurry this up." And the guy, the half-orc says, "Did I fucking ask you what time it is? Now shut up. Let me interrogate this poor pisser. In the name of Carleone, I am going to have to ask you to take a step." And the guy shoves him up against the side of the big cargo boat.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Now I saw you walking down here with the man we're interested in. Not only that, he came out of your house. And your boss, he told me you said you was friends. So I'm gonna need to know where he is."
Where's everybody standing?
So you're on the dock. The boat is here. Andy and the half-orc are here, and the other two are here. You're currently right here. Or do you want like distances?
I want distances.
I'd say they're about 10. The two guys are within 5 feet of each other, and they're about 10 feet back from the half-orc.
Okay, cool. I'm going to, if it's okay with you,
Thanks for asking.
I'm going to discreetly wild shape back.
Okay.
And I'm going to do tidal wave on him.
Okay.
From behind.
Make
Because there's water right there, and I'm just going to...
Make a stealth check. Stealth check.
Oh, I don't know why I did that.
Not an advantage.
No, that's cocked. Why does God hate me?
I don't hate you.
Why does God hate me? That is going to be a 9. That's a 9 on stealth for me.
Cool. So they all notice as you sort of slurp back up to your full form. Like, wild shape isn't a pleasant thing to watch happen. Like, you know the cover of Animorphs?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like loud. Like bones cracking and shit. So you get ready to do your tidal wave. They are gonna get to do they would have done their saves at disadvantage should you stealth that well, but they're just gonna do it at normal. So what do they have to do? I'm gonna turn on some more exciting music.
I have to say something cool first. I heard you were looking for me, and then I'm gonna do it.
Hey, guess what?
Chicken butt. 6 minutes of drums. They have to make dex save.
I know you've missed it. Cool, dex saves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. So the small toughs, one of them gets a 3, and one of them gets a 21, and the big guy gets a 17.
I think Andy would probably also be hit.
Yeah, Andy can make that save. Ooh, that's not great, Andy. 10 for Andy.
Oh wait, what's the? Oh my god, what am I comparing it to again?
Your spell save DC.
That's a 16.
Cool. So the captain and one of the toughs, the other ones, make it. They make the save. Andy and the other guy don't.
So the one that didn't make the save takes 48 bludgeoning. 4d8.
Okay, I was gonna say, holy fuck.
Yeah, that's not a great number. Ooh, there's no 9 on a d8, so I know
That's probably the wrong
I picked
dice.
the wrong one there. So 8 plus 8. That's 16
Mm-hmm.
bludgeoning. For
That was 4 you rolled? Oh,
Yeah.
8 plus 8. Cool.
Yeah.
16 bludgeoning.
Yeah. And so the ones that succeeded will take 8 damage. Okay, never mind. Alright. So the ones that failed take 16 damage and they're prone.
Cool.
The ones that succeeded take 8 damage and they're not prone.
Cool. Closer to that. Cool. And this guy was at this, and he's going to take 8 points of damage, and that's going to put him here. Cool. So you, the one closest to you sort of tumbles forward and hits the deck. The other one manages to sort of like brace himself. The half-orc turns around and ducks sort of under the wave, and it slams into him, but not that much. Letting go of Andy, who gets hit by the wave and bashed his head, like cracks against the boat itself, and he falls face first to the ground. They all turn around, and the half-orc says, "Oh, well, there he is. The squid, huh? You remember us?"
Honestly, no.
How fucking dare he! Get up! And the other tough sort of stands up and cracks his neck, and he's looking a little bit battered. He says, "Captain, we got to do the thing. We're running out of time here." And the half-orc says, "We will, in good time." And he reaches down and he grabs Andy, pulls him up. This kid is unconscious. You can see he's bleeding from the back of the head where his head is slammed. He pulls out a knife and holds it to the kid's throat. And he says, "Now, you're gonna get on this boat with us, or else I'm gonna slit this kid's throat."
I'm so sorry. Can I cast a spell again? Right now?
Sure. What are you trying to cast?
Blight?
Sure. You can cast it.
Alright, well, I'm gonna cast Blight on the guy who's got the knife.
Is it a touch spell?
Nope. A creature I can see.
Cool. What does he have to do?
Gotta make a Constitution save.
Constitution save. Natural 20.
Alright.
I think he takes about half damage.
Yeah, he still takes half damage. So it's gonna be 8d8 necrotic.
Cool.
So, 7 plus 13.
That's 20. You've done 4.
That's 4. Plus 12
So 32.
plus 16.
So 48.
48.
48 half to 24.
Necrotic.
Necrotic. Yike. Cool. So you cast your hand out, and you can see, starting at his chest, his skin starts to crack and dry up. And it's also a surprise effect that you haven't really seen. You see his skin start to turn a little...
Oh, he's a werewolf, isn't he?
No, you see his skin start to turn a little bit orange and, like, glossy. He just, fuck! And he pops out a vial of something and drinks it down, and his skin turns back to the normal color. At this point, you feel something hit you across the back of the head.
Howie.
That is a natural 20 for that. So you are going to take... 13 points of bludgeoning damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Nine.
9 is your okay, and you hit the ground. Just as you hit the ground, you're like feeling very woozy, and you turn over and you see the guard that let you through before, with this like club that seems to glow a little bit, like with a dark sort of situation. Dark situation.
Right,
It's got a dark energy. And as he puts it away, he says, "All right, you've done what you want. I've taken my payment. Now get this pirate scum out of here. Take the kid. We don't want any witnesses, do we?" And you see him turn around as your eyes just sort of like, and you fall asleep. So you, who knows how long later?
I don't have any weapons on me, right? Because I'm naked.
Yeah. Also, your AC is just your Dex plus 10 right now.
Okay. I think that might be the same.
No, leather armor gives you an additional, or it might be 8 plus your Dex is your current AC.
Plus my dex modifier?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you sort of open your eyes, and you find yourself on a boat. You can tell that by the familiar sort of rocking that you are out on water. You can see that Andreth is tied up next to you. You're not currently tied up, you're just lying. And you hear a voice whispering next to you. A female voice saying, "All right, I know you don't know who I am, but I've woken you up, and I think I'm gonna help you. I don't know why, but I'm gonna help you. So don't freak out. Don't act like anything's happened. Continue to pretend to be asleep. Otherwise, these pirates might, have their way with us, in a sense. You can call me Kay. And before you look at me, I know my eye looks fucking creepy, alright? So don't scream, yeah? I'm gonna come around to the front now." And you hear some, like, light footsteps, and you see a halfling woman.
Am I on the floor?
Yeah, you're on the floor. You're up against a mast of some kind.
Oh, okay.
And you see a halfling woman sort of step out around you and peek out. You recognize her armor, her leather armor, as armor belonging to the Cryptal Order, which is a famous order of treasure hunters and ghost slayers, effectively. As well as her eye makes sense that she's in the Cryptal Order. It is horribly disfigured and like weirdly like glossed over in a strange way. It doesn't seem like she can see out of it, but that's sort of a telltale sign of being a cryptal as well. You've heard that that's how they see ghosts better than most people. She says, "Hi, I'm Kay. Don't know who you are. They keep calling you the Squid for some reason. But what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go ahead and hide in the crow's nest. You're gonna create a distraction, and we're gonna kill these fuckers, yeah?"
Hi Kay, it's lovely to meet you. My name is the Squid, that's true.
That's not your
You
name.
can call me Wallace.
Your mother named you the Squid.
Is this the time?
Well, I feel like any time's the time. I'm not that worried about these.
How many are there?
Oh, well, there's the big one, and there are 4 other ones.
And nobody else is on the ship, besides Andy, of course.
I mean, I haven't been below deck. I can't say for sure, but I can't imagine.
Oh,
It's a
you're
cargo
above the
ship.
deck.
Yeah, you're on that.
Ah.
It's a cargo ship, so I can't quite say for I wouldn't imagine anyone would be down there.
You know what the cargo is?
Oh, eagles?
Ah, delicious. We've got to get some on the way out.
Well, I think it came in already, and they're just sailing it out. They said something about delivering you back to their boss, to their captain, for some reason.
That's never good when they want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what you did to these folks, but
I'll be honest, neither do I. But knowing me, it probably wasn't too nice.
Before I joined the order, I had a life sort of similar to yours, I can imagine. Plenty of people after me and my partner. I don't know what he did. Barely know what I did.
Just the way.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll be right back. And you can see she sort of like ducks back and starts climbing up something as you hear footsteps coming towards you. And you see this half-orc individual walking towards you. Flanked by the same 2 guys as before. Andy is still unconscious. You get the sense that she somehow stopped the sleep from working on you.
am I wearing my hat?
Were you?
Well, I don't know.
You said naked, so I'm gonna assume you're probably not. But you can be. I don't really care. You probably didn't take that off. I feel like you don't.
Yeah, I'm wearing my hat.
Cool. So they come over to you, and he says, "Get him up." And the 2 of them go over to you, both grab one of your arms and sort of drag you up. And he comes over and he socks you across the face, and you do take 2 points of damage from that.
Okay.
You doing anything?
You gotta give me a second. It's really been a while.
Okay, you're good.
Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. I said, ooh, child, things are brighter. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Just give me a second. Now a word from our sponsors.
Oh, egg. That's the word. But if you want to sponsor our show, we're looking for sponsors. That's all I'm saying. I mean, we'll sell out. We'll do it.
Okay. I'm ready.
So he socks you across the face. He says, "You up, squid? You bastard!"
I say, yeah, and then I walk up into a rhino.
You're not even giving him a fucking chance. All right. You watch him in a rhino. Fucking roll initiative. This is a combat situation at this point. Let me get 6 minutes of drums going. So we have. We're just gonna do theater of the mind for this one because I didn't build a map. That guy is. Alright, what'd you get?
17.
17, nice. So the first thing that is going to happen, you turn into a rhino, and it's a big thing, but he seems to be expecting some trickery from you. And you can see that he pulls out a whip and tries to whip you with it, and in his other hand pulls a rapier and takes 2 stabs towards you. So the whip is going to be a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That'll hit you. Cool. Yeah, 7 points of damage. What is your size category as a rhino?
I am large.
Cool. So it doesn't trip you at all. The rapier is going to be 19 to hit the first time, and 15 to hit the second time.
Yeah.
Both hit?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's 7 on the first one and 10 on the second one. So 10 points, 17 points of piercing damage from the rapier.
Hold on a second. 17 plus 7 is 24. 45 minus. This is why you gotta stay in school.
It's gonna say, and as he does so, he's gonna say, "You'll pay for what you did to Captain Greendeal and his crew." And it's your turn.
I'm gonna go. And can I charge at him?
Yeah, sure. You will probably take attacks of opportunity from the 2 guys on either side of you who did well. You turned into a rhino while they were holding on to you, so I think they probably aren't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that you're gonna get a free one on this one.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I'm gonna charge at him.
Sounds good.
I just kind of want to Actually, can I move away from him?
There's a
How big is this boat?
It's fairly large. It's to go one direction or another, you're gonna have to go through a dude, and there's a mast behind you.
All right. Well.
The front of the boat is definitely up there, and the back of the boat is definitely back behind you.
Well, I'm gonna run that way and try and just go like trample that guy.
Through him, cool.
Yeah.
So what does he have to? Are you making a charge attack on him?
Yeah, but the thing is that I think I need to move 20 feet before it happens. But also logistically, if a rhino was running
charging
at
at
me,
you,
would...
I'll say you can make the charge attack at disadvantage because you haven't moved 20 feet.
Okay. So I'm gonna do it does a charge and gore, so I'm gonna run with
So disadvantage on the attack, but.
What do I roll? I'm so sorry.
D20 plus whatever it tells you to.
At disadvantage. Why does God hate me? So that's gonna be a 10.
10? Yeah, that's not gonna hit. So as you sort of like charge towards him, he puts his hands on your horn and sort of vaults over you, and you past him, and he lands behind you.
Cool.
Anything else you want to do?
Nope, just running over there.
Cool. At this point, the two pirates on the ground are going to be very confused, and you're going to hear, and if you turn your little rhino head back, you can see a ghostly hand coming down from the main mast, grabbing one of them by the neck and just throwing it off the ship. You then see a halfling sort of drop and superhero land, and you can see the ghostly hand is coming out of her hand. She then draws a longsword and faces down the other pirate. The captain is gonna turn around and say, "If you don't die, we'll never be done with our curse." And he's gonna make his additional attacks on you again. He's gonna run up.
But I'm far away.
Yeah, well, he's gonna run up to you because he's got 30 feet of movement, and he's gonna try to sort of trip you with his whip. So he's gonna make a grapple check.
Okay.
You make either an athletics or an acrobatics check. It is your choice.
As a rhino.
Strength or dexterity,
Okay.
if you don't have those.
Sorry, strength check. It's gonna be hoo. 23.
He sort of wraps it around, but you just kick your foot through it. And he goes, "Ah, damn!" And he's gonna take his sword and try to plunge it into your hide, the back of you, effectively. So
He's probably gonna get me.
I don't know, man. 16?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Rhino's armor class is 11.
I'm not surprised. Ooh, that's not awesome. 12 points of damage, piercing damage, as he into ya. That'll make it your turn.
Okay, he's right up on me. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and gore him.
Cool.
26.
26, that'll definitely hit, yeah.
Ooh, he's gonna take 2d8. 2d8 plus 5. 16 bludgeoning.
Cool. Cool. So you get the sense that he hadn't really recovered from his wounds before, and this gore into him, that hurts him quite a bit. Oh. You see Kay behind you sort of dueling with this one pirate and really easily disarming him and sort of pushing him off the boat with her ghost hand. And it's just at this point that in the center of the boat, a hatch opens and a figure sort of crawls its way out. And Petal, time seems to like stop for a second as you're all like, what the hell is going on?
Whoa.
As he crawls out and sort of brushes himself off, and it is a tall, thin, pale elven man dressed in sort of dark cloth. He has fingerless gloves.
A cool thing.
He has like very messy strawberry blondish hair that is pushed back out of his face and held there with like metal clips, fantasy berets, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's super disheveled. He looks very messy, but he seems like sort of just like happy to be there. And be alive. And he says, Hey, cool, so quick question. Don't know what's going on here, I don't know why there's a rhino here. Do I know any of you? Okay. And the half-orc says, Are you one of the squid's companions? He goes, I could be. Am I? And Kay says, Yes, you are, sure! And he's like, Okay. Cool, sounds good. And he just sort of sits down in the middle of the deck and goes like, man, carry on your business. I'm just here to watch. So have fun. And that'll make it the captain's turn. The captain's gonna be, oh no, oh no. And then he's gonna start yelling and like fumbling around on his body for something, which makes it your turn.
I'm gonna gore him again!
Okay.
17.
17 doesn't hit. He's fumbling around, taking an advantage because he is super distracted.
19.
19 just barely hits. Nice.
22.
22. Yeah, cool. Cool. So you sort of spin around and he seems to have grabbed what he needed, and you gore him right in the arm, and he drops it. He falls to the ground, and you can see this vial just sort of rolling away, and it hits the leg of this elven man who just picks it up. Huh. Okay. Sounds good. And he's like, no! And as he's saying no, you can see that his form starts to, like, shift and change, and he becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and then sort of his clothes become just this messy mound that lay down. And you can see, yeah, that is what happens. Kay says, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna go deal with the people up front. You, Rhinoman, deal with this strange man. I will be right back, okay? And she's gonna run past you up towards the front of the ship.
Where did the captain, like, go?
He shrunk. He was shrinking, and now it's just his clothes, but there is movement inside the clothes.
I'm gonna step on it.
You hear like a crack and a squelch, and the elf goes, "Whoa, wow, that was weird." So there was just sort of water in that vial. I don't know if you can understand me. You're a rhino, but I like to think, yeah, that animals can talk to me. I mean, I have some good luck with different other kinds of animals. So that was cruel. That was cold. I like it. That was fun. That was good. Cool.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn back into Mimi. Wait, no, but there's no other bad guys.
Not that you can see. You do hear the sound of fighting, more like pirates screaming from the front of the ship. It seems like she has this under control.
Okay. I'm gonna turn back into beautiful naked me.
He goes, "Oh, wow. Okay, that is really something right there."
I'm just gonna like piece through the. I'm just gonna like look through the clothes, see if anything's in there.
So yeah, there is the crushed corpse of a crab inside.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And this takes your memory. You do remember when you were sort of just working in and around the piracy business, when you were in your younger days. Not that you're old. Sorry. You were working on a crew whose greatest enemy had this big old pirate enemy, and you, the crew, performed this ritual that cursed the other pirate crew, that if they didn't drink water at least once every hour, they would turn permanently into crabs. And the only way to lift this curse is to kill every member of the crew that put it on them, which includes you. And you're like, oh yeah!
Oh, I remember. That was pretty funny. That was a good prank. I knew he would be coming for me one day. I forgot about him. Alright. Well, can't eat this. That's yucky.
You could eat it. I mean, you could eat anything. Anything that tastes good. I don't know. I mean, this is the elf. He's like, I got it. You got a Jeff Goldblum vibe from this guy. He's just sort of talking, and not a lot of it makes a lot of sense, and he's not looking at anything in particular.
All right. I'm just gonna like discard the crab.
Oh, goodbye.
I'm gonna throw him over. Goodbye.
So hey, you were a rhino a minute ago, and now you are a blue man. Do I know you?
Do I know you? What is it?
History.
History. That's gonna be a 16.
You don't. Like, you've seen a lot of strange people. This guy's, not ringing any bells for you.
Do I get a vibe off of him?
Confused. You make an insight check if you want. Yeah. Confused. You're just confused.
That's a
about
nat
him.
one.
Yeah,
That's a nat one.
I saw it.
For
You're just sort of confused about his whole thing.
Alright.
You can't really read him that well.
I'm just gonna put these clothes on while I'm talking.
Cool. You got. It's like.
Oh, fuck yeah!
So you look straight up like a pirate. I don't know if you can see this.
Put it on that camera.
Oh, that's a better idea. So this is sort of the vibe.
So that's the sick new dub I just got.
Yeah.
Happy Black Friday to me.
Complete with some really nice boots, actually.
Actually, really? Oh. Like these?
So you've left your bowling shoes on the dock, but you have nice boots now.
Yeah.
You put them on, and as you do so, you hear and you see Andy is waking his way on
Andy, nice of you to join us.
Oh, whoa, what happened?
He's still tied up, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh, boy, where are we?
Hey, it's gonna be alright. I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna untie him. While I'm untying him, I'm talking to this elf guy. I'm like, so, what are you doing here? Who are you?
That is a great question. I just sort of jumped on in here, during the morning to take a nap, and here we are out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, imagine that. You got on a boat at a dock and now you're somewhere else.
Yeah, crazy. Weird times. What are you up to here?
Me? Oh, I was kidnapped. I believe.
Oh, fun. So that's why you squish the crab guy.
Yeah. I was also, it's funny, we go way back. I actually was the one who turned him into the crab.
You turned him into a crab?
Yeah, it's a long story.
And he goes, you turned somebody into a crab?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was college. I was different. I don't know.
Cool. So, just want to check one last time if you know why I'm here or what I'm doing here.
Well, you seem to have told me that you got on the ship.
Yeah, no. But I
then
mean
you
in like
took
the
a nap?
grander sense of things. See, I don't remember much past last week. So,
Oh, actually, I don't either? No, that's not how it goes. I just lied to you. I did lose my memory recently, though, so we have that in common.
Whoa. That is very interesting to hear, actually.
Wait, what is your name?
That's a great question.
Can I name you?
I mean, it's one of two things. It's and he pulls out a scroll and he says, "I am either Baron von Mercath or Rylan Sangueth. One of those two."
What if we mixed them together? What if we made like a little...
Go for it.
I forgot what you said. What do we call you, Kevin?
Kevin. See, the other two sound really cool.
What about Rothko?
Rothko, that's not bad, actually. Alright, I'll keep it in mind. Yeah, no. I'll keep it in mind.
Rothko, yeah.
Keep it in mind. And at this point, Kay comes back and there's just blood all over her. She's like, alright, so I took care of the ones over there. Shite. Well, didn't get that vibe. So, Mr. Squid, I'd suggest you back away from the nice man real quick. And he goes, okay. Weird, but okay. Do you know who I am? And she goes, I think I do. And I think it'd be best if you just left right now, before things get out of hand. Because I'm trained to deal with your kind. And he goes, okay. Sounds good. Don't know what you're talking about, but don't want to step on any toes here. You are covered in blood. You're covered in blood. She's like, yeah, go. Time to go. Let's get going. He's like, yeah. All right. Sounds
Kay,
good.
this is my new friend Rothko.
Hey, Roscoe? What?
Whatever.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna go.
We're in the middle of the lake.
Oh, I can do this neat trick. And he just turns into a swarm of bats and then circles around you and then flies back
Oh,
towards
that's
the city.
so cool! I love that.
Kay goes, so that was a high vampire. I don't know if you're familiar with their kind. One of probably the most powerful types of vampires around. I don't know what he was doing here, and I don't know why he didn't kill all of us, because he could have, easily. I'm Kay. Nice to officially meet you, though.
We met on Wallace.
So, why exactly are those pirates after you?
Oh, it's actually a funny story. I didn't remember, but now I do. You're gonna love it. Actually, when I was a little younger, I cursed their whole crew to turn into crabs if they don't drink water every 1 hour. It's pretty good.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but
that's so funny.
Thank you. Yeah. It was me and the boys. But the only way that they could, lift the curse was to kill every one of us who put it on them.
And Andy goes, what?
I knew this day was gonna come. I just didn't. It didn't ring a bell at first, but then when he turned into the crab, I was like, oh, I remember.
Oh God. Can you guys untie me, please?
I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Well, motley crew we've got going on here. Interesting. So, bad news. The guards were working with these pirates to kidnap you. Don't exactly know why, but that's...
I just told you.
No, yes, I know, but I don't know why. Guards were working with pirates.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, of course.
It happens actually a lot more often than you think.
And he goes, it does?
Well, look at you, kid.
What?
Where are you now? And who are you hanging out with?
But
Yeah,
I didn't...
that's right. Yeah, that's right. I thought you heard that, didn't you?
Kay says, I'd say it's probably not the smartest of ideas to turn around and hit our way back to the docks at the moment, because they're probably swarming with people who've been paid to murder you. So...
Celebrity.
So I say we just, head to the other side. Do you have any business left in town? And Andy says, yes, I do. My family live there.
Oh, also I've got a group of... What? I don't know. I'm not really busy right now.
Alright. If you don't have anything pressing, then let's just go.
Yeah.
I do, one of my companions is back in town, so at a certain point I'm gonna have to head back there.
Oh, also, who are you?
Oh, I'm Kay. I'm a member of
No,
the...
I know, I get it. I saw the... Got it.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was having a bit of an off night. My partner went wandering off somewhere trying to...
Wait. Is it like your partner or like your
Business
partner?
partners.
Okay, alright.
Business partners. We get sent out in pairs by the order. So, me and G got sent out over here for some business. I'm afraid I can't tell you what.
What do you both have names that are just letters? Is that a thing?
It's not a thing for cryptos, but you see, he's got a bit of a storied past, so he doesn't like to go by his name. And I thought I'd change my name to a letter just to help make him feel a little better.
Can I say something just to...
Alright.
Just a comment. That's a really boring storyline. Everyone has it. It's, oh, I've got a past. You can't have my name.
Hey man, it's his.
Anyway, I'm Wallace.
It's his past. I'm just trying to make the big guy feel better.
I really appreciate it. I just think it's a little... It's been done.
It's boring. Been done.
Been done.
Understand.
I know how to drive this ship, so if you... Do you wanna... Where do you wanna go?
Let's head to the opposite side. They were talking about putting you in a cart on the opposite side, so let's find the cart, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And Andy says, Can we go home?
Andy. What time? What? Andy.
It's like late into the night at this point.
It's past your bedtime. Just gotta sleep.
But I've been asleep.
Well, go back.
Am I concussed? Is this just a hallucination?
Yes.
Make a persuasion check. Deception.
7.
Goes, okay, don't try to pull one over on me, Mr. Wallace. Or Squid, or whoever you are, I guess. Okay, here's the deal. Because I'm a Lion Knight, and I have some authority. You can see him, he's like barely fitting into his armor, and he's like, he's got blood on his face, and his hair is all over the place. He's like, so we're gonna go, and we're gonna camp the night at this cart. Then tomorrow, first thing, we're going straight back home, so I can make sure my family's okay. And that's that.
I camping.
No, I'm not a pirate, okay? Don't...
I go to the driver's...
The driver's seat of the pirate ship.
Yeah, and I
You see that there are 2 corpses that are half crab just lying on the ground. And Kay says, "Oh, I didn't clean up after me mess. Sorry about that one."
I'm just gonna. Well, the one's already gone. Does he have anything on him?
Make an investigation check.
8.
12 gold and a broken spyglass.
Nice.
All right, you lead the way, Captain.
And that's what I do.
Cool. So you navigate your way to the opposite side of the shore. Make a perception check while you're doing this.
Perception. It's gonna be 21.
You do see, as you're about 3/4 of the way over across the lake, 2 things that are vaguely interesting. One of them, an owl lands like right in front of you on the
Do I remember?
I don't think that has happened since.
Okay.
This is an owl, and it sort of looks at you quizzically for a little bit, and then flits off. The other thing you notice is a brief spark of what looks like fire over the side of the lake. A small explosion, and like the sound of and then silence.
I forgot to make a wish. Every time.
Cool. So after it takes about another hour to get to the other side of the lake, and you sort of get your boat as close in as it can go. And Andy says, "Okay, let's go make camp, right?"
I get off the boat.
So and you wade your way to the shore.
Do I have to like tie the boat up?
Do you want to tie the boat up?
Put an anchor down, something like that.
I assume you put an anchor down when you got there.
Yeah. Well, my eyes just got really itchy. 1 second. Can I like look around?
Make a perception check. Yeah.
10.
You don't see anything, but Kay goes, "Oh, the cart!" And you see that there is a cart sort of tied off to a tree. There's like bushes in front of it, but it's not very well hidden. I suppose that's the one that we were supposed to. You were supposed to get taken away in.
Is it a nice cot?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Ugh, good.
And he goes, "Oh, there's probably room enough for the three of us to sleep in here if we want."
Right? Yeah, you're right. But is it a good idea for us to go into the cart that they were going to kidnap me in, put me in there, for me to sleep in there, but I'm not kidnapped? Because if somebody's gonna kidnap me,
Oh, that's a
am I
good
gonna
point.
go in there?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a solid point you got there. I say we should take the cart for sure.
Yeah, alright.
Let's take it somewhere.
Let's put it on the boat.
You want to put it on the boat?
Oh, you want to take it somewhere?
We can put it on the boat.
Are there horses? Is it just a cart?
It's currently just a cart, yeah.
Put it on the boat, bring it back.
Right. And it takes you a while to get that cart out onto the boat. And poor Andy is just having a miserable time of it. Kay uses her sort of ghost hand thing to maximum effect here, but...
I'm gonna like shape water to like...
Yeah, so between you shaping water and her ghost handing it, you managed to get it haphazardly up onto the boat. The back wheels are definitely still just like sticking off this one side, but it's on there.
Oh, yeah, good enough.
So that took you like 2 more hours. You were like well into like, it's like 1 in the morning at this point.
Alright, I don't really know what we're gonna do with that, honestly. I just sort of wanted it. Shouldn't we sleep on the boat? Doesn't that make
That's
any
not a bad
sense?
plan. It's defensible. We can take turns taking watch.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's get back on the boat.
Alright! And Andy goes, "No, first thing tomorrow, we're going home, okay?"
Alright.
So you make your way up onto the boat. Kay says that she's tired and will take the last watch. Andy says that he's been up all day taking care of you, so he'd rather take second watch if you want to take the first one.
Alright, well, I guess I'm taking the first watch.
And Andy's just immediately asleep, and Kay goes, "Poor kid. I don't think he's ever been outside of a city before."
Yeah.
Funny shite you got him mixed up in. Kids gotta grow up every now and again.
Yeah.
Alright, off to bed then. You're a thrilling conversationalist.
Yeah.
Alright. Good night, you fucking weirdo. And she goes to sleep. Anything you want to do on your watch?
Is there anything... What's the shore like? What are the sights I'm seeing?
Make a perception check.
25.
Yeah, so it's a rocky shore. Sorry, 1 second.
He's texting.
I'm actually looking something up.
He's texting.
Cool. Yeah, that's right. I was right the whole time. It's a rocky shore, because you're sort of in the plains right now. And as you look around, you do sort of notice in the direction that you saw that flash before, smoke coming through the air. it's something smoldering out over there. What really does get your attention, though, is two large, dark, bat-like shapes, like huge bat-like shapes, flying into the forest in front of you. Because it's mostly plains, but in front of you there's a patch of forest where the cart was before. These giant bats just sort of flit into the forest, and you see them dive down into the tree line.
Alright, well, it's a little... I don't think I should go in there alone without telling anyone, so I'm just gonna sit here.
You're not gonna follow Deirdre?
Sit here by myself, and I'm gonna wait. How far away is the Smoky Boy?
It's super far away. It's like...
It's not like I can't, like, go over and check it out.
No, it would take you, like, probably about an hour to walk over there.
Alright, well, guess I'm just gonna sit here.
Cool. Not that long later, you hear screaming, bellowing, I guess would be the better word, coming from the forest ahead of you, as well as some flashes of bluish light. And very quickly after that, you hear what sounds like multiple small earthquakes, and then those two bat figures flitting away. And you do hear a voice sort of whooping out in glee that strikes you as somewhat familiar. Though it sounds less drunk than it usually is. But you can hear the tapper. You can hear the sound of tappers yelling in delight.
In the woods?
On the bat. As it flies away.
Alright. Alright. Interesting. Now I really want to go in there alone and not tell anyone where I went. I'm gonna do it.
You jump into the water and you start walking into the woods. And as you do so, you hear just roaring and screaming coming from in there.
I'm being stealthy.
Cool, make stealth check.
But wait, before I go, can I leave a little note?
What does it say?
It says, Dear Kay and Andy went out for brunch. Be back soon. XOXO Wallace. And I say, really, I went into the woods because I heard some screaming.
Cool.
Anyway, so my stealth check is a 3.
It's really good. So you're just you're like, oh, I can't wait. And you forage your way into that forest. And fairly soon you see a really strange sight. You see two giant dark figures holding up huge torches. You've never seen fire giants before, but you get the sense that this is what this is. They're like giant, like gray-skinned creatures with bright red hair. It's like, for a size comparison, this is your size.
Mm-hmm.
This is how big they are.
Oh, he's big.
Yeah, very big. Though interestingly enough, you see the two of them are between the two of them there are a couple of them. They look the exact same. They look like this, but they're your sized, and they're just looking down at themselves and sort of yelling. What languages do you speak? Do you speak giant?
Nope.
Okay, then you don't understand it. Just sort of yelling at each other in this guttural language. When the big ones speak it makes sense. When the little ones speak it, it's sort of like a squeaky, the voice isn't deep enough for this language to make any sense. And they're like looking down at themselves in like confusion and worry. But then as you sort of just walk up, they all look at you.
I'm just gonna back away.
What's Olaf? And they sort of like yell.
I'm gonna come back and like, me?
Whoosh.
Hello.
Are you walking towards them?
Yeah.
One of them hands his torch down to one of the small ones, so he has to hold it with both hands because it's a huge, giant-sized torch, and he pulls out a chain.
What are you gonna do with that one?
As you get closer, he just sort of like gets up to you in one bound and just wraps it around your body. And ties it in front. You're like, oh. He then picks you up, slings you over his shoulder, yells something, and starts trudging back into the woods. Is there anything you want to do in this situation?
Well, this is my inner monologue. Well, Wallace, here we are again. You've gotten yourself into quite the tizzy, haven't you? Now, you could do one of two things. You could, I don't know, turn into something small and fall out of the chains.
I think you might be out of wild chains for
I'm
the day.
not, because I leveled up.
Ah.
So I get another one.
Nice.
You could use your final wild shape for the day to escape, or you could see where this takes you. Now, I think I'm gonna see where this takes me.
So a little while goes by.
Also, it's 3:37.
Yeah, I know. A little while goes by, and you're grabbed by the face, so you can't really see what's going on, and it really doesn't feel good. But you hear, and you feel yourself thrown. You tumble on the ground a little bit, and you hear, and you open your eyes, and you see two faces peering down at you. One of them is the face of a Goliath man with a strange, awful eye. Very similar to Kay's that you'd seen previously. The other one is a beautiful face framed with blonde hair. She looks down and says, Wallace? What the fuck did you do? And that's where we're going to end this session of Dungeon Party. Tune in next time to see what's happening. It'll all make sense eventually. Cool, they're all caught up. They're all caught up. So thanks for playing. I don't know what's happening above us. It's horrifying. Thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. You go play a game of D&D. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it. Thanks for partying with us in the dungeon. See you later.